Okay, all right, let's begin the legislative committee hearing. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Kennedy, Alderwoman Davis,
Present.
Alderman Vaccaro,
Present.
Alderman Cone, Alderman Villa,
Here.
Alderman Arnowitz,
Here.
Alderwoman Ingracia, Alderwoman Green, Alderman Ogilvy. Here. Chairman Behringer.
Present.
6 present, we have a quorum.
Cone just stopped in.
Shane just got here.
Duly noted.
All right, we have, committee, we have before us Board Bill, is it really 123? 123, 123. Do I entertain a motion to hear Board Bill 123?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right. I am the sponsor along with, Lewis is going to add his name, Lewis Reed, of Board Bill 123. This piece of legislation is done every other year. It has to by state law. So for those of you who were on legislation 2 years ago when we went through this, this is the bill that we tightened up big time. As in, it was only had a few people that had to submit the reports, and we changed it to all elected and appointed officials. It's up to 60 people who must comply with the personal financial disclosure law, so that we know that if there's anyone who is elected or signs a contract in the city of St. Louis, if they have a personal conflict in excess of $500, they have to report it. And so today, all we're doing is reintroducing it because we have to every other year, it's the law. And if anyone has any questions, wait till Dave comes back and I'll take questions. Here we go. So we'll start with Alderman Kennedy, Alderman Davis,
No question.
Alderman Vaccaro,
No questions.
Alderman Cone,
I don't believe I have any questions.
Alderman Villa.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Dave, is it fair to ask, has anyone ever made a public request on this to see how little I'm worth?
They've asked for the request of everyone, not just you, but I get requests from, there's a group that like Open Data. There's an organization that seeks open data, and I've been sunshined by them before for this 2 years ago, not this past
Do
year.
we know what they do with it? It's just that
I don't, I think
they probably have a database.
They may, and go to use it for that, but yeah, that's been the only time.
Yeah, I mean, I opposed it, I think, 2 years ago, and I'm getting older. These forms, which we fill out pursuant to this, really permit you to not declare anything, in my opinion. I'm just, and I'm not looking to improve the forms, but if you're in, you don't have to put down very much similar to the forms that Congress fill out, so. I mean, is it I hate the word transparency, but I think it is a step towards transparency, and it just doesn't bother me anymore, it's just too easy to fill out. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman Villa. Oh,
Yeah,
Anoints.
Though I need a different sheet.
Alderman Arnowitz.
No questions.
The sheet I gave you.
I know, I like the anoint though. Ingracia Green, Alderman Ogilvy.
So for folks who have to report that are not members of the Board of Aldermen, where did they file their form?
With me?
Still with you?
Yeah, and with the state, both.
Okay. And I assume people have been doing that?
They have. I obviously worry about the alderman, but the mayor's office has been pretty tight on the folks that
Okay.
they're over and make sure that they get theirs done. This past year, everyone got them done, the last day as always, but.
And the other elected officials are now aware and they send them to you?
Sure, yeah, well, once they get the letter, and I have to explain it to them. I mean, it was tough. I mean, I went from 2 people to 60, and so the amount of work has increased significantly, but this seems to be a system in place after 2 years, like anything.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Alderman Ogilvy. And I'll just end, oh,
I have a question. Alderman Villa.
Alderman Villa?
Dave, does the Ethics Commission write them and tell them it's due?
They do. They do initial letter and they'll do even a second follow-up. And it's, as you all know, or may know, you can do it electronically. It takes a minute, especially once you've done it.
You can
Just
do this
update
one
it.
on January 1st,
You
correct?
could.
Yeah. I think I did, just to get it
Exactly,
the heck out of the
exactly.
way. Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, the only thing I have to say is thank you all. I appreciate the work that was done 2 years ago. I think this is a great bill, and let's go ahead and pass this out of committee.
I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor, please.
You really aren't getting enough sleep, are you, Shane and Sean?
So noted.
So I have to have it passed out of committee.
Move to adopt.
I move to adopt Board Bill number 123. All those in,
So moved.
Second.
all those in favor? Everyone was here?
Roll call. I need, please call the roll.
Please call the roll.
Alderman Kennedy. Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderman Vaccaro.
Aye.
Alderman Cone.
Aye.
Alderman Villa.
Aye.
Alderman Arnowitz.
Aye.
Alderman Gracia. Alderwoman Green. Alderman Ogilvy.
Aye.
Chairwoman Berenger.
Aye.
7 aye votes, 0 no votes. Board Bill 123 comes out with a due pass recommendation.
Okay, and before we close this committee meeting, I wanted you all to see, I gave you the paragraph set forth by the rules that says what the legislation committee is to hear in the way of legislation. All I wanted to do is make sure, especially, we had a few aldermen not here today that haven't served on legislation or new to the Board of Aldermen, know what bills we should be hearing, and that if we want to, what's the word I'm looking for, if we want to do a point of order when any legislation is introduced on the floor because it should go to legislation, we can do that. And I just want to make sure everyone understood that. As the chair, I serve on the CREA Commission. So, and then I've been told, but I'll get it verified, that I'm the wrestling commissioner as well.
The Wrestling Commission?
Yes, the wrestling commissioner.
We have a wrestling
I
commission?
have one page.
Used. Okay. All right, so that's all I wanted to do is make sure everyone saw what bills and what the legislation committee should be doing and hearing. Yes, Alderman Villa?
Do you wrestle under your real name, or do you have a stage name?
Red lightning.
We could have-
Firecracker?
We could have a
There we go,
contest, we could have a contest,
I
Madam
like
Chairman.
red lightning. That's
Okay.
got a little-
All right, are there any questions or any comments? I just want to make sure that everyone has that. Those who are not present will get that in their mailbox.
We'll have Vince McMahon introduce her.
All right. No questions?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
May
The
I-
meeting, oh, I'm
may I,
sorry.
Dave, if you read the definition is not the right word, the description of what would go to legislation, could I make a case that any ballot proposal goes to the legislation committee?
You could make a case, but you could make a case, I mean, they're all, the descriptions are broad. And, I mean, very few of them are very, very narrow. I think you could make that case, as you could with, you can make a case for any bill, I believe,
Right.
before the president.
Existing and proposed laws, that's pretty much anything. right?
Well, then, if, to go with your description, all of them would go to legislation.
Right.
So, I mean, you gotta, I mean, that's
I don't wanna be
existing
that
law.
busy all
We
the
repeal
time.
laws all the time, so that I would disagree with. But I think you can argue that, like I said, you could appeal the decision of a chair, but again, you would need the votes for that. As Alderman Villa well aware as president, I mean, that's the authority the president has.
Yeah, so the process would be, is that when we're on the floor, well, Alderman Villa knows it, but for anyone else who doesn't know it, is that when they're assigned and we're on the floor of the Board of Aldermen, you can do a point of order, and as long as you have the votes, it can change.
You wouldn't do a point where you make a motion to appeal the decision
I'm
of
sorry.
the chair.
Apologize.
Yeah, but that would be the motion, to appeal the decision of the chair, who at that time is the president, who has that authority. Wouldn't you agree, Alderman Bill? That'd be the time to do it, I would think.
Well, you'd have to be quick, but
Yeah,
yeah.
it
I
would
don't know,
have to be.
I don't know how else you'd do it.
Yeah.
And he's the boss, so, I mean, I'm not advocating that.
Right.
I think, I just, I'm in a time warp. And there was a time when the legislation committee here did handle a lion's share of stuff. But that was a long time ago. I hope we've improved. So, I have nothing else, thank you.
All right, No other comments, questions? Then this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow morning.
8:30.